Carriazo on the floor early in the ball game.
This is another guy na gusto natin panoorin, Tony De La Cruz. You know, I think he's the most consistent Filipino or local para dito sa Shell Turbochargers. You know he's gonna get his 18-20 points a game.
At si Tony De La Cruz, alam mo, kahit saan mo ilagay yan, may sweet shooting hand si De La Cruz. As Renzi Bahar opens up his ball game. And speaking of watching players, you know, Renzi Bahar, I still remember his first game in General Santos where John Moran put him in and he scored. He broke his own personal best of 14 points by scoring 16 points in that game.
And ano yun, first win ng Shell for this season.
That's right.
So mataas na talagang kumpiyansa nitong si Renzi Bahar. Kaya naman kahit na nagpalit na ng coach, and it's Coach Leo now, the trust is still there. He sees the value for Renzi Bahar. And going back to Tony De La Cruz, Hans, itong si Tony De La Cruz, walang pilit na tira, you know, he just goes to the open spot, gets those wide open jumpers, and it just looks so easy for him.
It's all around, and there's Alvarez. De La Cruz. Kick out to Rayback. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Bahar beats the shot clock. Excellent start for Renzi Bahar so far. So Rudy Hatfield, again, as we said earlier, medyo feeling his way around, no? Still trying to get his flow. Medyo mahirap na naman mawala ka with a foot injury. I hope his fractured foot is completely healed. Mark Sanford, sinagot na ang first 5 points ng Shell with his own jumper.
Going back to that injury, alam mo kahit na fully healed na yung injury, ang pinakamahirap dyan yung mental state. You know, if kung medyo aalalayan mo yung paa mo or will you play all out right away. So that's one thing that Rudy Hatfield it'll come with the minutes that he plays in the games.
Pero tama ka dyan, medyo binibaby nyo eh. Siyempre, ayaw mong masaktan ulit. Ayaw mong biglain masyado. So you have a tendency nga na psychologically you don't give it your all.
And usually, pag yung right foot yung nai-injure sa'yo, yung kaliwa yung
nagko-compensate.
Oo, nagko-compensate. And more often than not, medyo nagkakaroon ng injury din yung kaliwa.
That's right. Foul underneath the basket for Jamil Watkins. Baby hook. Rebounds his own miss.
The lift that he used to have nung first few games ng Coca-Cola. You know, but still, Coach Chotres opting to stick it out with Mark Sanford. Alam naman natin yung value ni Mark Sanford. The last time they played, he scored 51 points. So, Mark Sanford, injured and all, epektibo pa rin.
That's to the point na susugal ni Coach Chot na kahit na masakit yung tuhod niya. Rather than start a new import in Tate Decker, he will just take his chance. And pass intercepted there by Rudy Hatfield. Excellent anticipation. Ito pala si Rudy Hatfield. Hiniram daw yung mouthpiece niya mula kay Manny Pacquiao. Rich Alvarez to Jamil Watkins. Tapped out and ball turned over to the Coca-Cola Tigers. Alam mo, Dominic, kanina may nabanggit ka na maganda yung matchup between Rivas and Jamil Watkins.
They have pretty much the same build. They're both long. And we saw at that time a good defense ng Coca-Cola. Nag-help side sila from the baseline, forcing Jamil Watkins into a turnover.
Tony De La Cruz. No go on his off-the-board shot on that fast break. Ato to Carriazo. Carriazo. Hatfield throws it up and gets it to go.
And he comes out with a smile. Wala yung mga pangkumpiyansa rin. Pagkagaling ka sa isang injury, pag nakakashoot ka, alam naman natin na basta makashoot ang isang player, you know, that makes his day.
Rich Alvarez to Watkins. Watkins harassed inside, stolen by Mark Sanford. Tapped out by what looked like Watkins. No, the ball will stay with the Turbochargers. I think Sanford touched it in his attempt to keep it alive for Coca-Cola, pero hindi po niya na-control yung bola.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. So
Carriazo fouling De La Cruz.
Not really agreeing with that call, but the veteran that he is, Jeffrey Carriazo, just accepting the call. Na, you know, he didn't react to the referee anymore, and I'm sure he's gonna try to get him back somehow.
Magandang disposition ni Jeffrey Carriazo. That's tama ka dyan. Part of it is dahil veterano na siya. The other part is, in general, he's a very laid-back, easygoing guy with a deadly shot.
guy para dito sa Coca-Cola Tigers, especially in the All-Filipino Conference.
This is one of those few people na nakikita ko na tuwing fast break, rather than lay up and stop and pop. Pero may kumpiyansa talaga siya na papasok. Tony De La Cruz making both of his free throws. De La Cruz 71.4% from the free throw line. It's I think the word that TJ Banotok likes to use is respectable. Mark Sanford fade away. Swish.
He's got a nice soft jump shot si Mark Sanford, and most of his points talaga nanggagaling sa jump shot. Hindi naman siya yung type of player na parang si Jamil Watkins na gustong-gusto makuha yung bola sa loob and try to slam it.
Si Jamil naman, given any opportunity, he will dunk that ball.
Well, alam naman natin na he's so much taller. He's probably the tallest import, and he's got long reach. So I'm sure instructions by this guy on your screens, Coach Leo Osias, whenever you get it down low, try to dunk the ball more often than not kasi mafa-foul ka dyan eh.
That's true. And if you can dunk the ball, it's a higher percentage shot than, a layup or a jump shot. At Morano for three! Gets him to go!
And this guy, alam mo, dinagay ni Coach Chot Reyes to sandali dun sa injured list. Or rather, dun sa reserve list.
Reserve list.
Oo, and sabi nga ni Coach Chot Reyes, because they're coming off, they've lost 3 of their last 4. So, medyo gusto niya i-shake up ng konting things, and that's the way Coach Chot Reyes shakes up things. Parang, alam mo yun, sabihin ako,
No, but last play where Jamil Watkins powers his way underneath, draws the foul, and gets the shot to go.
Parang tinabi lang niya si Rafi Rivas doon.
8% from the line, showing its signs now as they send him to the foul line. It's a nice getaway play by Rafi Rivas.
When you have the same shooting percentage, free throw shooting percentage of Shaquille O'Neal, that's
nothing to be proud of. Jamil Watkins, a product of Georgetown University in Washington. Mike Rayback with that miss. Tato Morano in traffic.
Looking at the lineup of the Shell Turbochargers, they're a very tall lineup except for Renzi Bahar. Everybody is above 6'4". You have Mike Rayback, you have Jamil Watkins, Tony De La Cruz, and Rich Alvarez. Very tall but very quick.
Mark Sanford with a long jump shot. Yung jump shot ni Sanford, talagang it looks so effortless na half the time hindi mo alam kung pasok o hindi.
Saka hindi mo alam kung parang hindi siya titira eh.
Watkins double team there, no go, no foul.
And if you notice, Hans, lagi nilang pinapapuntang baseline. Itong si Jamil Watkins, tas doon nanggagaling yung help. And that's the second time he's turned the ball over with that kind of defense. So maganda ang scouting report so far nitong Coca-Cola Tigers.
Speaking of turnovers, that's the one Achilles heel that
Averages 6.1 turnovers a
Jamil
game.
Watkins has in any given game aside from his free throws. Riaso almost lost that ball off to Rivas. Rivas with the jumper short, rebounded by Rayback.
Not really known for his jump shots from Rafi Rivas, something that he'll have to work
Alvarez off the glass and tip in by Watkins.
That's an offensive rebound and a putback for Jamil Watkins. He averages close to 19 rebounds and 7 of those.
Air ball.
7 of those, Hands, offensive rebounds.
Ika ang binanggit namin kanina, if Coca-Cola loses this game, it must again hope that San Miguel Beer beats Red Bull. And a timeout called by the Turbochargers early on in the game against the Realtors.
At maganda yun yung pupunta ka sa quarterfinal or doon sa wild card phase na galing ka sa panalo.
Oo.
At yun ang sinasabi nga ni Coach Leo Osia na natuto na sila kung paano manalo. And that's one thing that a young squad like Shell, it's a good sign for them.
Alvarez, stolen, restolen by Renzi Bahar. Foul on the way to the hoop. Nakausap ko din, nakapanayam ko din si Coach Jong Oichigo ng San Miguel. At kahit na sigurado na sila may quarterfinal berth sila, sabi nga ni Coach Jong, gusto pa rin namin mapanalunan lahat ng laro namin. Dahilan lang, pagpasok namin ng quarters, ayun nga, you're coming off a win. hindi ka nasanay na natalo because kahit pa paano, kahit na sabihin mong no-bearing game yan, pag pumasok ka na ng quarterfinals, kailangan mo rin yung psychology na yun eh.
At mahirap yung manggagaling ka sa talo. Medyo tatamarin ka niyan eh. You know, that's something that if you begin to lose, especially for San Miguel, may ibang nagsasabi that they're peaking too early. But you know, I'm sure Coach Jong Yuchiko naisip niya na yan and he keeps on pushing his wards para hindi sila mawala dun sa level na pinaglalaroan nila ngayon.
Right. Cariaso. Defensive shell is preventing them from going in. It's Hatfield with a rush. Excellent rush shot.
4 points now para kay Rudy Hatfield. And that's not a shot that we've seen Rudy Hatfield done more than maybe 3 times in his whole career.
Right. Bahar kay De La Cruz kay Watkins. Binabantayan ni Rafi Rivas. Rich Alvarez with a jumper. Yun nga, sinasabi natin, that's not Rich Alvarez's shot either.
Well, ano yan, si Rich Alvarez, you know, he's not too consistent dun sa kanyang jump shot, but he'll hit it from time to time. And matatawagan ng foul itong si Tony De La Cruz, yung first personal niya.
Pushing foul on number 35, Tony De La Cruz. His first personal third team foul for the Shell Turbo Chargers.
And we can see Ronald Tubit making his way to the officials table. Here's a guy that's really come out. As he comes in for Rich Alvarez, ito si Ronald Tubid. In the last game, 20 points. Best player of the game. He had a key three-pointer in the final 4.5 minutes. At yan ang dahilan din kung bakit ngayon siya ay 6th in the league in three-point shooting overall.
Piyansa ni Ronald Tubit. Alam naman natin na naglaro itong si Ronald Tubit for Coach Leo Ostia in the amateur. So alam niya yung laro nito. And you know, he's gonna get his minutes. At hindi naman niya pinapahiya yung tiwalang binibigay sa kanya ng coach niya.
Not at all. Bahar for a long three-pointer. Doesn't get it to go.
And maganda yung basa ni Coach Leo Ostia sa pagpasok kay Ronald Tubit. You know, kanina po-post up si Jamil Watkins, hindi siya makapasok na
Si Rich Alvarez. And Rich Alvarez is really known as a slasher, rebounder. He really is not known for his outside shooting.
Well, he's more of a role player, no? And medyo kailangan nila ngayon someone who has three-point accuracy, and that's Ronald Tubit.
Tubit committing his first foul on an attempted shot block on Rafi Rivas.
First foul para kay Tubit. Medyo parang pag nakikita natin si Ronald Tubit today, parang hindi kompleto yung gear niya, no? Wala siya nung dalawang wristband niya sa sa arms niya, at saka yung headband.
Well, hindi na ata kailangan ng headband. He's got the buzz cut. Luke Calagio checking in for Renzi Bahar. Chris Jackson in for Mike Rayback.
So yun lang yung problema nung pag nagsasub tong si Coach Leo Austria. Lumiliit bigla yung lineup niya. And you know, that kahit na veterano tong si Chris Jackson, he gives off a lot of height doon kay Rafi Rivas or Mark Sanford.
Pero I think ang sugal ni Coach Leo dyan, they might be smaller, but they're more accurate as far as shooters are concerned. Tubid underneath loses the ball to Ato Morano. 5-point lead enjoyed by the Coca-Cola Tigers. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Off to Morano. Box out. Stolen by Chris Jackson.
Good defense.
Tubid with the ball. Tubid all the way. Oh, nice pass off to De La Cruz, and he draws the foul.
At yan ang dinadala ni Ronald Tubid. Kahit hindi siya nakakashoot, intensity, nakita mo siya. Right after he made the pass, na-shoot ni Tony De La Cruz.
Look at that. He looks like he's going to take it all on his own against Sanford and Morano. Draws them away from Tony De La Cruz, and even Rob Wainwright trying to come in and stop that play was unable to anymore.
Inatrack niya talaga yung defense at left Tony De La
Cuts the lead down to 2. Mark Sanford to Rafi Rivas. Pass the ball around. Wainwright back to Sanford. A lot of height advantage on Sanford over Jackson. Wainwright all the way. No travel call. Watkins with the rebound. Oh, stolen by Morano. Oh!
Tubid wanted to get it back.
I think to
Nakonsit again, kung goaltending talaga siya.
Well, yes, it looked very, very. It started its downward.
Traveling
Very close call that goaltending.
Walang alam ko pagka paakyat yung ball and pag inipit mo dun sa board, that's goaltending. But, well, looks like it was a very close call para sa ating referees, and they called it a goaltending, counted it as 2 points.
In the ball game for Atom Morano. Rafi Rivas with 6 seconds, 5 seconds left. Jumper by Johnny A, and it's a switch.
Johnny Abariento, sobrang swabe rin, kakapasok lang and scoring his first 2 points.
Palagio working his way around Wainwright. De La Cruz to Tubid. To Watkins. Watkins binabantayan ni Rafi, double team, then still goes for the layup. No go, rebounded by. There's Sanford soaring in. Hatfield with an interesting bounce pass.
Well, alam mo to, si Rudy Hatfield, he has the knack of finding the open man. You know, nung naglalaro siya before para sa Tanduay Rum Masters, he was a role player, so they moved the ball around very well.
Sanford first of his 2 free throws. We went over a few scenarios dito po sa umpisa ng ating coverage, no? And if the Tigers win this game and the Red Bull Thunder beat the Beermen, a 4-way tie ang mangyayari between Coca-Cola, Alaska, Red Bull, and Talk Next. So Coca-Cola is still gunning for it. Pero malaking bahagi doon ay maapektuhan ng outcome ng ibang game. So kahit na manalo sila, kailangan pa rin nilang ipagdasal na yung mga ibang kalaban nila ay matalo so that their chances get
Will
better.
improve, oh.
Yes. Samantalang ang Shell naman, nakasalalay talaga sa kanila ang outcome nito. Pag nanalo sila, Santa Lucia. Whereas kung hindi sila manalo, maaaring makakalaban na lang nila kung sino ang mapupunta sa 5th place, which is Red Bull, Talk and Text, maybe even Alaska.
So mas mahirap na kalaban yung mga yon. So alam natin, you know,
Sanford is down.
Jamil Watkins just dunking that ball with so much ease.
Ito yung kinakatakutan natin kanina, no, na sinugal nga ni Coach Chot na ilalaro niya pa rin si Mark Sanford despite Mark Sanford openly complaining. Look at that.
Looks like he hyperextended.
Yes.
Pag-recover niya doon.
Hindi siya collision.
Oo.
30-second timeout called by the Coca-Cola Tigers as Mark Sanford is helped.
In 4th level, pwede ka maglaro na parang pang-5 lang, pang-kompleto, but you know, they need Mark Sanford to be able to win this game.
Mark Sanford averaging close to 40, 35 points. Coca-Cola is going to need that, especially in the remaining games that they have. Rob Wainwright, nice jumper from the side.
Well, kaya naman nandyan si Rob Wainwright to shoot those open jumpers. And natin, Rob Wainwright freshening the ball.
Ronald Tubit, fouled by Johnny Abarientos. That's 3 free throws right there.
Free throws, hindi masyadong anong foul yun. And Johnny Abarientos does not like the call.
His first personal 15 foul for the
Alam mo, hindi ko maintindihan, Dominic, is meron ka ng injury. Siguro nga, alam mo naman, tuhod mo yan. Alam mo naman kung anong kakayahan ng tuhod mo. Pero I don't see Mark Sanford wearing any brace or supports.
Actually, I noticed that and I was gonna tell you also that. And siguro, well, hindi natin alam kung ano problema ng tuhod niya. All we know is masakit lang yung tuhod niya. So, could be rin yung mga knee brace hindi nakakatulong. You know, sometimes yung mga knee brace naman is just to relieve the pressure. So, it might be something else which a knee brace or a knee sleeve won't do any good for him.
That's true, pero experience, may nabibili ka ng knee support na merong mga titanium rods to make sure na at least laterally, which ayaw mo naman talaga na mangyari sa tuhod mo na gumalaw laterally, it will ensure na at least laterally on that injury a while ago where it looked like he hyperextended, his knees looked like they wobbled sideways. And all I'm wondering is, a brace will offer some sort of support, and no brace at all will offer no support. Rob Wainwright with an attempted three-point. Nice rebound by Hatfield, and he taps it back into Poch Wino. Hatfield taking it strong. Looked like a block by Jameel Watkins, but there was a foul by Chris Jackson.
So si Rudy Hatfield being very aggressive in the first quarter of our game. He has 4 points and has an opportunity now sa ating free throw for 2 more.
Hatfield at the line. Again, we hope that that little hyperextension of Mark Sanford is nothing serious. This is the gamble you take when you continue to play an injured player.
Well, you gotta give it to the guy also. You know, he wants to play, keep on playing. And yun ang fighting spirit na gusto mo naman makita sa isang player.
Shell Turbochargers having difficulty getting past the half line. Chris Calagio harassed by Rob Wainwright. Bill Watkins with a nice putback.
It's a good play by the Turbochargers. Backdoor play and alley-oop para kay Jameel Watkins.
Under a minute left in the first quarter with Coca-Cola still leading by 5. Rafi Rivas. Around Jameel Watkins, no go. Chris Calagio.
Makikita mo talaga nag-iiba yung tira pagka si Jameel Watkins yung nandun sa harapan mo.
Siyempre naman, this guy is notorious for his blocks.
Well, Jameel Watkins averages 3.1 blocks a game. Well, makikita natin, nagpe-pressure ng Turbochargers sa floor ngayon.
That's the second traveling violation on Calagio that he completely disagrees with. Nabunggo siya at sa opinion niya dapat foul yun at hindi yung traveling. So let's see if the Coca-Cola Tigers can pull off a last shot before the end of the quarter. Barrientos to Hatfield. Hatfield to Wainwright and Rivas left open.
An easy slam for Rafi Rivas. Makita mo, hindi si Watkins yung nasa harapan niya.
Rightly, tama ka, Dominic, dun sa initial assessment mo. However, we have been informed that he will, or he is back in the ball game.
Medyo naalog lang siguro yung tuhod niya, and you just gotta love the attitude. Itong si Mark Sanford, wala siyang pakialam. He knows how important itong game na to para sa kuponan niya, and he's willing to play it out.
Alam mo, bigyan natin ng credit, where credit is due with Mark Sanford. His attitude is very, very do or die. Never say die, actually.
And yan yung mga attitude na hinahanap ng mga coaches, and that will, yung mga ganyang scenario will assure you or will give you another chance para in the future, kung papabalikin ka ng mga coaches dito, Coach Chontes for Coke, or any of the other coaches of the other 9 teams.
You know, nung bagong dating si Mark Sanford, a lot of I was talking to some of the referees, they were complaining, si Mark Sanford is always questioning the calls of the referees, pero pag siya naman yun ang gugulang, he expects not to be called. A lot of people were saying he's trying to be the other Art Long. And you didn't give him enough credit because to his credit talaga, Coca-Cola wouldn't be where it is today without a Mark. Somebody who admits na masakit na yung tuhod niya pero gusto pa rin maglaro.
Masakit yung tuhod mo. Some coaches keep on hitting that 3-point shot. Pag sinabi mo openly na masakit yung tuhod mo, that's admitting your weakness, and that could be detrimental against you for the pag yung kalaban mo magaling mag-shot, medyo pupush ka towards your weaker knee or your weaker side.
Jameel Watkins asking for a call on that. And in the previous play, Poch Wino with a 3-point bomb. Renel Hugnatan in the ball game. Nakita natin si Sanford hindi ganun ka-aggressive out of the ring. He's opting to take jump shots.
Well, it's not really known naman talaga para dun sa mga power plays like a Jameel Watkins, but yung outside shooting niya brings out the defense.
Tony De La Cruz
That's a foul. on
Loose
Jamil.
ball foul on
Oh.
Jamil Watkins as Pochuino almost finds himself on the floor.
His
Third personal foul already for Jamil Watkins, and it's only 10 minutes into the second quarter. Kung ako si Coach Leo Austria, medyo
Kakabahan ka.
Kakabahan
And
na ako.
middle of first quarter stats, kaya naman na lumamang itong Coca-Cola Tigers is they had 7 turnovers and Coca-Cola only had 3. At ang mas magandang field goal percentage, 57% for Coca-Cola, only 39 for the Turbo Chargers.
Jamil Watkins missing a point-blank shot. Johnny Abarientos to Pochuino, left open for 3. No go. Rebound by Watkins. Bahar with the ball against Rob Wainwright. There's a height disadvantage for you. Jamil Watkins, pass deflected by Mark Sanford off the backboard.
That's a good seal job para kay Mark Sanford. And Tony De La Cruz with his second personal foul.
His second personal, second team foul for the Shell Turbo Chargers.
Sending Mark Sanford again back to the free throw line. Sanford, nothing too impressive with his free throw stats. Shaky, 65%. Again, if I may quote our other more sage commentators and analysts like Ed Bixon, Quinito, even TJ Manotok, you know, that 65% is not really something you advertise yet.
When you're shooting at about 80%, that's where you want to be, especially if you're a big man.
That's right. Renz Bahar with the ball. Jamil Watkins, Rayback cut underneath. Rayback, 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Tubin, out of position shot, but manages to snag the ball again.
Kickball violation. That'll reset the shot clock.
So Mike Rayback is in, and so is Adonis Santamaria. Wasn't Adonis your teammate,
Yes,
Dominic?
yes, I played with him in De La Salle and in the PBL. It's nice to see him back in action here. Medyo nanggaling rin sa injury yan.
Blocked. Well, now he just injured his ego with that block by Mark Sanford. Stolen. Renzi Bahar, trailed by Abarientos. Abarientos lets him go. Sails in for the layup, and the lead is down to 7.
Yung magandang matchup na ito, Johnny Abarientos versus Renzi Bahar.
Well, that's Pochuino left open for 3. That's his second one.
And I don't know bakit hindi china-challenge yung 3-point shooting ni Pochuino. Pochuino is known already for his 3-point shooting. And he's shooting 38% from 3-point land. So that's a very good percentage, especially if you're a big man.
Aggressive is trying to draw a foul. You have Sanford and Wainwright going up against you.
Medyo late yung help ng Coca-Cola Tigers. He'll try to take it strong, and that time took it strong, and he got fouled. But he has to earn it from the line.
That's
and
true.
With the percentages not really going in your favor, you know,
Well, with a free throw shooting percentage like that, tama nga yung decision ni Rob Wainwright at ni Sanford to foul him.
Oo, kesa easy 2 points.
That's right.
You know, ngayon nakakuha sila 1 point lang.
Sanford with the ball. Hugnatan. Hugnatan. With 9 seconds left, I think he thought it was going to be a backward violation. That's why he didn't pick it up. Pass intercepted by Ronald Tubin. 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
That's why nung medyo nagja-jogging siya pabalik, narinig natin yung coaching staff ng Coca-Cola. Bilisan mo! Kasi tumatakbo pa rin yung shot clock nila.
Specifically, Coach Chot Reyes, who can really, Mark Sanford, quick release. Oh!
With a man right in front of his
How
face.
sweet it is, that jump shot.
parang hindi pa siya tumatalon eh, no? Parang hindi jump shot eh.
That's right. Kung may audio lang tayo, tinanong niya ata si Adonis, were you guarding me? Jamil Watkins against Pochuino. Harassed by Pochuino. Foul away from the ball.
Well, foul yun, it was impeding the movement of Jamil Watkins. So,
Foul on number 32.
Pochuino with his second personal foul.
Second team foul for the Coca-Cola Tigers. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Renzi Bahar, Jamil Watkins. And you have to give credit to the Coca-Cola defense. Jamil Watkins has not had too many clear shots underneath. Well,
Before that.
Before that. Well, no, his other previous dunk was off a miss, but basically,
Pag nagkagulo na yung
pag
defense,
nagkagulo na yung defense, it's not
Parang-
shooting. It's
Oo.
not, he doesn't get any easy shots like what Rafi Rivas had a while ago.
breakdown play na yung nangyayari dun sa mga dunk niya.
And Mark Sanford, despite the hyperextended knee, still manages to wreak havoc on the shell.
Na, ginagawa nitong si Mark Sanford. At pansinin mo kung saan makukuha ni Jamil Watkins yung bola. They're really pushing him out. He's getting it. Malapit na dun sa may 3-point line.
And they know he's not going to take a jump shot.
Oo. Mas mahirap makashoot dun sa malayo and to try to, if not, force your way in. And that's the defensive adjustment na ginagawa nitong Coca-Cola Tigers.
Rob Wainwright, 4-3.
Kasama ko ngayon si Coach Chot Reyes ng Coca-Cola Tigers. Coach Chot, what will the scenario be whether you win or lose this ball game? How are you guys going to do in the ranking?
But recovered by Tony De La Cruz as he passes it off to Rich Alvarez, and Rich is fouled.
Foul on number 21.
Bench scoring para sa Shell Turbo Chargers. 3 points lang para dun sa bench ng Turbo Chargers. Para naman sa Coke, 13 yung total nila and 9 na in this quarter, but let's look at also their 3-point field goal. Shell 1 out of 3, Coca-Cola shooting a much better 4 out of 6 percentage for 66%.
Well, Ato Morano had one pot, Urigo had two.
And Rob Wainwright had the other.
Mark Sanford showing that kahit na masakit ang tuhod ko, makakascore pa rin ako. Way back, give and go to De La Cruz. De La Cruz underneath. Look dangerously close to a 3-second violation. Pininit ni Bahal, rebound ni Iwinyo. Barrientos intercepted by Rayback. And Rayback completely disagreeing with that call. Natapik daw ni Sanford. Pati si Coach Leo Austria.
Pero the mild-mannered man that he is, Coach Leo Austria, nakuha niya yung call. You know, the referees admitted that they made the wrong call and corrected it, and now the Shell Turbo Chargers have the ball.
16-point lead by Coca-Cola Tigers as this
Another turnover para dito kay
it's the
Jamil
turnovers
Watkins.
that are killing them.
Oo.
Oh, Pochuino dunking against Jamil Watkins.
It's a good fast break para dito sa Shell Turbo Chargers. Rayback taking it strong naman on the other side. Getting that.
Poch Uwinyo, what were you thinking?
Umikot pa si
Rayback not converting on that 3-point play. And Jamil Watkins not looking too interested to get that rebound either.
Well, medyo natakot siya. Tatlo na yung personal foul niya. And watch video
Uwinyo with a drive.
taking everybody to school. 16 points na ang kalamangan nitong Coca-Cola Tigers. And looks like they have no sign of stopping this run.
4 minutes left in the half, and despite Mark Sanford sitting out for a while, Jamil Watkins blocked shot by Mike Rayback. Mike throws a dagger stare at the referee. Wonders why there was no ball. Tony De La Cruz against Uwinyo. Fouled by Potts, and he can't believe that that's a foul.
On the other side, nagreklamo rin tong si Reynel Hugnatan na na-foul siya doon.
32 Coach Winio.
Well, at least nakikita natin na yung mga no calls
Consistent.
magkabilaan. So Tony De La Cruz to the line. Someone with a better free throw percentage. 71%.
Jesse Cariaso for Rob Wainwright.
So despite the sitting out of Mark Sanford for a while, the locals of Coca-Cola stepped up. The lead did not diminish, and now, ang laki ngayon ng Kalamangan, just cut down to 14, of course. Well, to 15 by that free throw from Tony De La Cruz, but the Coca-Cola Tigers still comfortably in control of this ball game.
Rally ribbon for Portuguese.
Ang ganda ng ikot ng Taon ni Coach Chot Reyes. You can see them, they play maybe 4 or 5 minutes, the sub naman, and so he always has fresh legs. Gusto niyang takbuhan itong Shell Turbo Chargers.
Renzi Bahar to Jamil. Jamil Watkins successfully being kept out from under the basket. That's Tony De La Cruz. That's a Tony De La Cruz trademark.
Oh.
So the lead is down to 13 with 3 minutes left in the first half. Rafi Rivas back in the ball game for Pochuino. Cariaso also back in the ball game.
It's another foul on Tony De La Cruz. Second team foul and this third personal foul. So tatlo na si Tony De La Cruz, tatlo rin si Jamil Watkins.
Hatfield in for Hugnata.
Saka pag nagsasub ng tao si Coach Chot Reyes, parang hindi nag-iiba yung intensity at yung complexion ng game.
Parang pinalitan mo lang yung pangalan ng player.
Oo.
Mark Sanford being guarded by Rich Alvarez. Sanford! Anywhere you put him, fade away, stop and pop, it's always that swish, that fluid jump shot.
Parang ang dali, you know, it's a tough shot, that fadeaway shot, and he makes it look so easy and pretty.
Alvarez going strong and off the glass.
Up and under move para kay Rich Alvarez.
Rudy Hatfield to Abarientos. Abarientos back to Cariaso to Hatfield. Intercepted by Rayback or deflected.
Thank you, George. And well, Dominic, that's one of the many reasons why we love our job. Not just the games, but who also comes to the game. Rich Alvarez with the rebound. Under 2 minutes left in this first half. Renzi Bahar and Shell Turbochargers trying to cut down this lead as they go into halftime.
Rich Alvarez off to Renzi. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. They better come up with something soon. And no go. Mark Sanford intercepted by Watkins, stolen by Bahar. Bahar opts to slow down the play and wait for his teammates. Mike Rayback.
Medyo awkward shot hindi rin ni Mike Rayback
Alam
time
mo,
na yun.
mula dun sa inupuan natin, that shot looked awkward the minute it left his hand.
Saka alam mo walang pag-asang papasok.
Just a few more stats, mga kaibigan. Coca-Cola has lost its last 2 games and 3 of its last 4. However, this is already the second time the Tigers have lost back-to-back in the conference. They're hoping they don't lose 3 in a row. So far, they're making sure with a 13-point lead with 51 seconds left in the first half.
Saka Hans, yung mga streak na yan, very important, especially coming into the quarterfinals and the semifinals. Kasi, basketball is a game of spurts. And pati yung wins mo, pag nag-streak ka, it's like a spurt that will carry you into the next round.
Interesting note that while Shell Turbochargers have won its last few assignments, they're looking to win 2 games back-to-back under Coach Austria.
Well, they're 5-5 under Coach Leo Austria and 4-4 with Jamil Kalamangan ng Coca-Cola Tigers.
Tama ka dyan, Dominic. Hindi naman porque dehado ka, hindi ka pwedeng magkaroon ng momentum.
Oo.
Maybe a last second 3-point play will carry you into the halftime. So paglabas nyo ng dugout, medyo nakaangat nga ang spirits nyo at you want to cut down that lead even further. Calagio to Rayback. Rayback to Jamil Watkins with the jam and the foul.
Very well executed play para sa Turbo Chargers that left Jamil Watkins wide.
Another look at that. Pass to Jamil.
Alam mo yung pagkakamali ni Rafi Rivas doon, nagpalagay siya sa likod eh. That's something that you know, when that happens, kailangan pumunta.
Let's see if Watkins can make a three-point play. No go. But the lead is down to 11. Will the Tigers have a last second shot that they'll be able to pull up? Or will the Turbochargers be able to get it? Calagio harassing Ato Morano. Ato Morano stuck in that spot as Calagio is called for the foul.
Sayang yun. You know, there's 4 seconds left dun sa shot clock. So now the Coca-Cola Tigers, ngayon sila talagang may last chance at the shot. They have 9.2 seconds to try to get up a shot.
Sanford harassed by Rich Alvarez. No go. Calagio. Calagio all the way to Tony De La Cruz for the shot. Is that going to count?